I've heard from a lot of people in the community all about how wonderful it is. I've had some friends that have come here, and I've heard from their families. And so when my husband found out he was passing away and got to the stages where we couldn't look after him anymore, this was the place we hoped and prayed for would come available for him. Before we made the decision to come here, I made a phone call and talked to Susan because my husband wanted to donate his body to science, and he was actually accepted into the University of Waterloo. So I had to find a place that would honor that request too. And so we started talking long before we ended up being able to come here. And how amongst ourselves, my own family describes it is, we were adopted. We were a family that was adopted, not just my husband. And as wonderful and great as they were to him as their new adopted son and brother, they were the same way with the rest of the family, which we didn't expect. We were just hoping that he would be looked after. So we were very grateful to have, we don't even think of them as staff because they're more than that. They just become part of your family. He had a beautiful room with a TV, which was important to him, with comfortable seating. The family could be there. He turned 65 and a half while he was here, so we brought a ice cream cake in and celebrated, because we do celebrate our half birthdays being born in December. And we were able to keep it in the room in our own little freezer and snack on it in between visits. I think every day special things happened that we sort of had an unwritten rule in our room that we were only going to try and concentrate on the happy things that made us laugh while Ron was alive. So that's what we gravitated to. But we also had a few maybe unique things with our family that we requested, and it was like, yeah, no problem. Just before Father's Day, my husband is a big fan of the Waterloo Warbirds. They fly the warplanes here out of Kitchener, and my daughter, who works over by the airport, was given a chance to fly a Harvard. And so they picked a day that was close to Father's Day, and the staff here helped roll his bed out into the parking lot, and they did a beautiful flyover for him in the warplane in the Harvard with my daughter in the seat. So one daughter was up there with him, and the other one was down here by his side. So that was one of the last days he spoke, and he was very impressed and very happy that he could see that. Ron was in jail for 37 and a half years. And when he passed, we had asked if the honor guard could come while he was leaving, because some of his grandkids and some of the family that had come from Calgary and other places wouldn't be here when we had his celebration of life. No problem. And so the honor guard came and gave their last salute as hubby left the doors. Yeah. It was a very nice, it was very nice that they allowed us that for for the people who couldn't be here later on. And it was a nice way to say goodbye from leaving here. Although coming here was just as nice. We arrived in an ambulance, and there were so many staff out front to meet us and to greet us and to get us all safely into our rooms and comfortable. So coming and going, we were well looked after. If the person you love, if you've been their caregiver for so long, you can come here and be their spouse again. And that makes all the difference in the world when you're writing that last chapter. Because you want the memories that you're left with to be good ones too. And that's how they left us, with good memories. We were able to do lots of things. That the grandsons came and arm wrestled with their opa. My daughter watched the Blue Jay games with her dad, which she couldn't do because she lives in Fort Mac. They just allowed us to be a family again. And I think that's probably the best gift of all, is time to be a family. Well, I hear there's going to be an auction coming soon, and our family, and I know Ron would want it done, would like to donate this vintage bottle of whiskey. We had bought it for our wedding in 1978. Then it was 6 years old. It's made in 1972, and it's over half a century old now. It was meant for one of our big anniversaries, but some of them were surprises that we didn't know about, so it still stayed in the cupboard. And we just thought it would be a great way to celebrate. There's probably more than 40 people work here, an ounce for each one of them, but to maybe raise some money so that the good things that happen here can continue in style.